here from Tonkadale, and today we're at New Hope Farmacy in New Hope, Minnesota with Alec, our resident mushroom guru at Tonkadale, and Muhammad, one of the partners and CEOs of New Hope Farmacy. This is our second installment of our Meet the Makers series, so let's get started. So Muhammad, tell us what is going on here. What are you growing? What are you selling? Just tell us.
At New Hope Farmacy, we mainly focus on making grow kits, and we sell it to other farmers or outlets like yours, so that the people could actually grow their own mushrooms. And we have a block here that is made of sawdust and soy balls, and we had a little bit of mushroom spawn, and then we sell this block. And people just get to just cut it, mist it, and put it in the right environment, and it grows beautiful mushrooms. The example that we have right here is lion's mane mushroom, which is one of my favorite mushrooms. It tastes like lobster.
Oh yeah.
And it's so delicious, and it's very healthy for you. It's very good for your brain. It increases the memory and focus, and studies show that it reduces Alzheimer's as well.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so question, how long does it take to go from cutting the bag to getting this nice flush of mushrooms?
About 10 to 14 days is normal. If you are in the perfect environment, like we are in this grow room here, it probably will take 10 days. But at home, when you are just trying to mist it with your little spray bottle, you might not get as big of a flush like we're seeing. So in mushrooming, we call it flush instead of a harvest. Flush is a harvest, and if you see this one, when it's fully grown and ready, it will be close to 3 pounds. So the value of you getting a mushroom grow kit is really good, because 3 pounds is probably $60 in the farmer's market. And you bought the grow kit for like $25.
Right, and you get that good quality too, because you guys sell them to restaurants even, so
Yes,
they can just get fresh mushrooms, make it, saute it, whatever they want to do.
Yes.
So for this specific block, or most of the blocks, do they grow like mostly on one side? Can you then flip it and grow the other side?
You can. You don't have to do this.
Okay.
Actually, after you harvest, you could keep spraying, and it will grow another second flush.
Okay.
But it will definitely not be as big as your first.
Right.
And so your second flushes are usually half or less of
Okay.
what you got.
So cool. So now we're here in the chestnut growing room. These are some beautiful chestnut mushrooms. Please tell us about the chestnut mushroom.
Well, they are the most beautiful, in my opinion. They grow these little fuzzy things on it, and they just look like a little puppy that are really growing. I love how they taste. They taste a little nutty, and you could eat them with soups, or just saute them with garlic and butter, and they're just very delicious.
Well, tell us a little bit about your origin story, how you got started here, what made you drive to get this operation going.
Well, I was always interested in vertical farming. Vertical farming was kind of like, I saw what we were doing with food trucking and transferring food from Mexico and Florida, and I learned about hydroponics and indoor growing, and I'm a technology guy. I have nothing to do with the growing, but I'm kind of a gardener, and I kind of put 2 and 2 together, and like, we have the technology to make beautiful tasting, healthy food right here. And when I started growing my own lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers, doing hydroponics in the house, and I saw, like, oh my god, that lettuce tastes like lettuce, and everything tastes so much better just by doing it yourself. I quit my job, and I devoted myself for 2 years just to learn how to do this. And be involved in indoor growing and vertical farming. So they said, Muhammad has been talking about mushrooms and maybe he would be interested. Do you want a mushroom farm? I said yes. So I came and met them, and I said I don't know anything about mushrooms, but I'm very familiar with indoor growing and running a business, and here we are. Like 2 years later, we're still successful. I made it work.
When I think of growing, my background is in greenhouse growing and ornamental plants, not food necessarily, but food for a garden, right? I think of like light as being so important, and I think for me, just coming here and being like, okay, well, they're growing so much food and nutrition and food value, protein, all kinds of yummy stuff without sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you need light to grow mushrooms, or a certain amount of light?
You need a little bit of light, not definitely as intensive as growing plants, because there's no photosynthesis in here.
Right.
You need the light just to trigger them. So if you think about it, when the mycelium is under the ground during the fall, and it tries to kind of see between the leaves a little light, and it says, oh, this is oxygen, this is where I see like I can grow, and it starts growing out of the leaves, and you see the tree stumps or whatever. So light is just a trigger mechanism for them to say, oh, I'm ready to go there. You know?
So phenotypically speaking, if a mushroom's getting too much light, how's it gonna like fail or look after that?
I don't think too much light is, unless the light will have too much heat.
Okay.
That would be the issue. Heat or temperature is the most critical.
Okay.
I think also the second right away is humidity, but the temperature we noticed like only 5 degree differences could reduce your yield by 50%.
Okay.
And just like going to 70 degrees versus 65, it just makes huge difference in your yield. Humidity is very important, but you have a range. This is one that you probably can see. We have in an opening here, and then you see the concentration. The mushrooms are everywhere.
Yeah.
That they chose to grow out of the opening because they saw light and they saw oxygen more. Everything in the bag is more CO2 concentrated, so they like the fresh air or the oxygen, and they start growing up.
So you could, like you said, you could grow like lettuces or greens on one side and mushrooms on the other
100%.
side, because
And
they're
this is
giving
kind
up
of
the
what-
CO2, then they want the oxygen, and then they want the CO2.
Yeah. And we talked about this because we have 20 grow rooms in this facility. So one of the things that when I came here and this was empty, right? There was nothing going on. How can we use this building? How can we? So one of the things that we were thinking about is like, well, we have 10 grow rooms here and 10 grow rooms there. You can have mushrooms growing here and make leafy greens and microgreens on the other side, and you have some kind of
Circulation
where
fans.
yeah. But again, like we were in the middle of the pandemic. We started May 18th, 2020, which is my birthday.
My birthday's on the 17th.
Really? Wow, that's so awesome.
Taurus for life.
So but like, yeah, we limit, and like all the restaurants are closed, and so we really didn't want to go hard on like growing food. Like we really want to start a food business in the middle of the pandemic when there was no restaurants open.
So that was like the do-it-yourself kind of grow kit?
Yeah, so this is why we focus, and we wanted to kind of do medicinal stuff, so this is why it's a Farmacy's play on the words.
Yeah. You're selling the grow kits, you're selling the mushrooms that are grown in-house to restaurants, like co-ops.
I'm not selling any fresh mushrooms.
You're just...
I am selling the blocks.
So these mushrooms are just going to make substrate for more inoculant for the next block?
Yeah, so I
I
sell
see.
the blocks,
Okay.
and so I sell to other farms. So we make about 3,000 of these things every week,
Okay.
and we ship them around the country.
Okay.
It's kind of a very specialized kind of supply chain,
Yeah, it's like
So if somebody sells the seeds,
you're like the seed producer in a way, like seed savers or something, and then they ship the seeds to farmers or growers.
Yeah.
So then what happens to these mushrooms?
So this is R&R is renting this.
Okay.
So they rent the grow room. They will harvest it,
Okay.
and they would sell it to restaurants
Okay.
and they London barley.
Okay.
Their old London barley is $1.
Okay, London Byerly. So you can buy the mushrooms at London Byerly's.
Yes.
Do you ever let chefs come in here and just like harvest?
No, because it's like it's really everything is has like a procedure and cleanliness, and you have to wear gloves. You have to
Yeah.
do this, and
You can't have people coming through here all the time.
exactly. Otherwise, you get contamination.
Yeah.
And you know, so we're very aware of not bringing stuff from the outside.
Okay, cool.
It's basically hardwood pellets. It's any hardwood would work, and we add. So it's a mixture of, depending on the species that we do, we have to supplement the hardwood with some nitrogen source, kind of. So either soy hulls or wheat bran, and a certain percentage. And then after he bags them dry like this, we follow these. And here you see they have a little apparatus there that they would add water to these bags, and once they add water to the bags, they put them on these railings, and we would push them in there, and this is where the magic happens. So we have a 40-foot long autoclave. This is basically a pressurized vessel that would steam with steam. We have a boiler that would add steam, and for a few hours, it will kind of make sure it kills everything. So once it kills everything, we add a little mushroom spawn in it, and like you see, the block is brown like this. And once the mushroom grows, this is called mycelium, and the mycelium will kind of eat the hardwood, and it slowly creeps until you saw in the grow room, the whole block will be completely white. And when it's completely white like this, we say it's colonized, teaching you terminology. So once we finish colonizing, so it's completely white, this is when it's ready to fruit, and then we could actually open the bag and start fruiting the mushrooms.
So after all of that said and done, this is the final product that we sell. These are the kits. They come in many varieties. There's always more popping up, I feel like, too, as you guys expand. Oysters are super good, super easy. We got one we just posted on Instagram, and it's already doubled today. I popped it like 3 days ago, so really excited about that. Everyone loves, shiitake. That's like one of the go-tos.
Yeah, this is a shiitake block that is super ready, and like you see, the shiitakes are popping already out of the bag. I might take this home and do it myself.
Go.
Because it's
Do a little
really
taste
cool.
test.
I love shiitake.
Yeah.
They're very versatile, and you go with anything. So you could put them on any dish, even eggs. So.
Yeah, no, this is what it's going to look like on the inside. You guys have seen them a lot from in their grow rooms. But once it's completely white, not a lot of brown spots, you're ready to just pop it open. They have great instructions inside. A lot of times it's just like a 3-inch X. Lion's mane, you can do like a couple 1-inch. And shiitakes, you can do kind of a lot of ways because they like
you
to
have
just
to
go
out of the bag.
Out of the
Shiitakes
bag.
is out of the bag.
because they like to pop through
Yeah,
every
the whole thing comes out of shiitake. But yeah, so normally we have stickers for only 5 varieties. So shiitakes, golden oyster, blue oyster, lion's mane, and black pearl kings. So these are the varieties that are available in Tonkadale.
More to come.
Thank you, Mohammed and
You're
Aaron,
welcome.
for hosting us today here at New Hope Pharmacy. My mind is blown. I'm very hungry. And thank you, Alec, for your dedication to getting this in the store. Grow kits, to me, I'm always kind of like, is that like a legit thing? No, this is legit. And now we've had them for about a year, and we're bringing in probably new boxes every few weeks or so.
Yep.
So we'll have the mushroom kits available at Tonkadale all season long. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at Tonkadale.
Bye.